UFC Louisville, Jared Cannonier versus Nazardine Imavov. I gotta switch my mouse over here. How embarrassing. Trace, you ready to kick the card off? Wait, my bad. Usman, you doing tail of the tape this week?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, bud, kick the card off.
So we're going to start off with what's his name? Swagger Dagger 69's favorite fighter, Pujar Tomar versus Rayanne dos Santos. This will be fought at strawweight. Ryan dos Santos coming in at 14-7, with Pujar Tomar coming in at 8-4. We have no reach and no height listed for Pujar Tamar on the UFC website. If anybody else has got that, because that's where I'm using my stuff. Cap and May, y'all got the stats on that height or reach?
Oh man, I just clicked over and I'm trying to check. You can
Well,
we
we'll
don't we
go
don't
off with Ryan dos Santos. She's a 5'2" with a 62-inch reach. Pujar Tamar, all of her striking, this and that, it's all zero. This is her debut, so we ain't got nothing. Strikes landed per minute for Ryan dos Santos 3.73, strikes absorbed 4.63, and then takedown average per 15 minutes 0.50. And that's it for the strats or the for the stats on these two fighters.
Yeah,
hey
I was watching Money Moicano's early picks for the card, and like he literally laughed at this shit. He was like, "Bro, this shit is a joke. Who let this Indian?" I genuinely think she sucked dick for this fucking to get in this card, bro. There's no way
nah,
she's a
bro.
can. Now I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm not gonna say that, bro. But she doesn't deserve to be in this card, bro. I watched her fights and she was getting whooped, bro. She's a can.
Yeah, bro, you gotta remember Juliana Miller is in the UFC, so like, you gotta be you gotta understand there's levels to UFC contracts. But I see what side you're on in this fight. Trace, you got anything on this fight? Because for me, it is it's an over. I have no interest in playing either side of this fight, just the over.
Yeah, so it's a striker versus a grappler essentially. So the Puja's lost 3 times to submission, which is Rayanne's bread and butter, and then she has been defeated 1 time by KO, but she seems to be like pretty durable. She went to a decision with Denise Gomes, who we'll be talking about later in this card as well. I feel like this is a solid over for this fight. And if I'm not mistaken, that when this fight opened, Puja was either a slight favorite or it was a lot more closely aligned than the betting is since taken off and taken over the fight from that, and she's now been a plus 200 dog. So I think honestly, if you're going to play a money line, it's probably dog or pass for the money line, as these are both debutantes or low level women's MMA fighters. And yeah, I think the over is probably your safest bet here. I'm sure it's going to be a pretty decent line because the books are pretty wise to it now. But probably the safest bet as well.
Very nice.
If I'm taking a money line, I'm probably taking the dog shot on Puja at plus 200. I believe it's plus 200. It might be more than that actually.
And Fuego.
Trace, come on, bro. Listen, you know when COVID kicked off, I was fucking betting Belarusian soccer, and I had no fucking clue what I was doing betting on Belarusian soccer because I needed action. That's what we're doing with this fight. Come on, man. We need to call the
That's what
orderlies
we're
on this.
doing with this
We
card in Fuego.
we need to
What
call
do you
the
want us to
orderlies
do?
on this fight, bro.
What
I'm
do you
just
want us
messing
to
with you,
do?
Trace.
It's the whole card.
Trace, I'm just messing with you, man.
No,
Usman.
yeah, trust me. You just, I'm not going to be as blatant as Swagger is about it, but I also do believe that you should, for the most part, probably fade Indian fighters. But I think women's MMA is probably the exception to that because I don't think ethnicity plays too much into most of these women's skills. I think it's just mostly, yeah, just athleticism is more important than anything for the lowers women's divisions for sure.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
Rayanne is a black belt jujitsu specialist, bro. She's proven. I'm hammering her, bro. Like I know women is very unpredictable. I've been fucked over betting on women's a lot, but I just can't see it, bro. Unless it's rigged, bro, and they want to give her a debut
I don't know,
win.
man. I don't think if they're going to waste a rigging opportunity on such a low level fight. I'm not saying pick a side. I'm saying the over will probably be your best bet. It's not very often you see women just come out there and just kill each other in the first round. So if you get over 1.5, which I doubt you probably do on this one, but with Rayanne being a finisher, it might be a decent line on it. Yeah, I think the over is safe on this fight.
Hey,
Usman.
Tumar's got 6 KOs with 3 first round finishes.
UFC is a different animal though. I mean, she might be a regional fighter still, or like regional level, but she's fighting a very good regional level and the other opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You
so
know
you're
she's
getting the
five
best of
foot
the best of
four.
regionals.
You
What's
know
that?
she's 5'4".
Is there a point that you're trying to make, Joe?
Yeah, that our website has more information than the one that Usman's using. Usman, what do you got?
Yeah, look, I'm the degenerate that has to have a play on everything. I'll let y'all know that we're hitting every criteria for this to go over. For 2024, the first fight of the night hits the over at 76.92%. All time on my stats, it is looking at 63.63%. Everything says to go over on this one. I will not be touching the over at all because scary, and I don't like that it's minus 175 only. um if everybody's saying this Pujar Tamar girl is not good, I'm not going to bank on her making it 2.5 rounds. Yeah, no over for me.
Okay, we're done with this fight. We're not. We've been on this fight for like 100 hours. Would you say their names again without looking at the screen, Usman? Yeah, fuck you. You can't. So next is Cody Stamann versus Taylor Lapilus. Usman, you got some Taylor tape on that boy?
Now, these are some stats that I can read off. I like me some Cody Stamann. He comes in at 21, 6 and 1. Taylor Lapilus at 19 and 4. They have the same reach or height at 5'6". And then Cody Stamann, same reach over here, 64 inches for Cody Stamann, 73 inches for Taylor Lapilus. Landed per minute for Cody Stamann, we're looking at 4.39 and 3.91 for Lapilus. Absorb per minute 3.63, Stamen 2.37 for Lapilus, and then we're going down to the takedowns 2.34 for Cody Stamen and 0.37 for Lapilus.
I'm gonna kick this one off. I really like Cody Stamann. Think he's a good guy. I've met him. I think he's fun to watch fighting. Um, Over 31 books. He's reporting at plus 208 average. I think that's lined right. I think that's lined correctly, and I don't think the dog shot on Cody Stamann is the play this week. I like all right. I already said it twice. I like Cody Stamann, but I don't like him in this fight. Yeah, I don't feel like this is a good look for him. I don't have to dig a bunch of tape into this one. As soon as I had seen this fight, I was just like, oh man, it's Taylor Lapilus. I will take the over 1.5 on this fight though. 100%. The over 1.5 is a good play here in my opinion. I don't even feel like I'll be sweating it to be honest. I feel like that's easy play for the parlay. You're not trying to hit the over 2.5. You're going to sweat that, but the over 1.5 is a nice play here. Usman got his hand up. Go ahead, bud.
I'll say it a third time and maybe even a fourth time. I like Cody Stamann. He's not winning this fight. They are not giving you any sort of playroom with even goes to distance minus 325. Joe says you might sweat the over 2.5. I don't think you will at all. At minus 350, it sucks, but that's the parlay piece. And I'll save the rest of us time with this one where everybody's going to go Lapis, everybody's going to go over 2.5, right?
Yeah,
I'm mine's over Lapilus by decision, easy.
Alrighty. All right, then let's just move on to the next one. How about that?
absolutely. Let's go, boys.
Ooh, now I hope y'all saved 15 minutes for this discussion. Eduarda Moura versus Denise Gomes. Eduarda Moura 10 and 0. undefeated. Denise Gomes 8-3. 5-6 for Moura, 5-2 for Denise Gomes. When it comes down to the reach, 3-inch reach advantage for Moura, 66 to the 63 of Gomes. Strikes landed per minute, 5.61 Moura, 4.81 Gomes. Absorbed, 0.45 for Moura. I know that's with only 2 fights, but hey, kind of impressive still. 3.66 strikes absorbed per 15 minutes for Gomes. And then going down to the takedowns, 5.34 for Moura and 1.13. So we kind of know exactly what these girls are going to do.
All right. Well, I'll kick it off. I didn't see no other hands up. I like Denise Gomes here. I know she's plus money. I will say I am biased. I think she's a good fighter. I think she doesn't always show up the way she could, but I think she's a good fighter, and I like her in this spot. She's plus 136, averaging over 30 books. If you look real hard, you can find her. Damn, everybody is in the 130s. You can get plus 150 on her at some books. So you can get plus pretty good money on her. I think she's live. I won't play her KO or anything. But I probably will kick her into a parlay. I'm not going to say lock that one in. But if I do a parlay with money lines, she will make the parlay with money lines. Zabets.
I'm on the other side. I'm gonna take Moura by decision.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I mean, I'm not mad at that at all. In Fuego.
Yeah, I got Mora early. Well, not early. My early at minus 150. I think she's going to come in bigger. And if you watch that first, you guys watch that Hill Gomes fight. Mora can do the same thing, take her down fairly easily. She's got a good single leg, and she's kind of stiff on the feet. But I think she's going to have opportunities, and certainly an opportunity to snatch that neck from Gomes too. So I'm on Mora.
Fair enough. Trace, you got anything on this fight, bub?
Yeah, in women's MMA, I typically go with the striker over the grappler. I just think the it's harder in women's MMA to get the takedown for or to be more dominant in a wrestler. Like the levels in the wrestling is never really that big, except for in some of your specialists like Tatiana Suarez. So a lot of the times even though you have a wrestler as their base, it's really not much better than their striking. So for me, in a low level women's MMA fight, I'm more likely to go with the striker in the bout. So I'll take Denise Gomes by decision. I'll take the over as well. Yeah, I think the over is probably the safest bet, but I don't know if Usman gave out that number yet. It's probably cooked because it's a women's MMA fight and everybody's onto that by now. But yeah, give me Gomes by decision.
Well, I ain't mad at it at all. Man,
Resumes, there's a lot of difference in the resume as well, like as far as who they fought and the level of competition they fought as well. So, while Gomez did lose to Angela Hill, I mean that's a good measuring stick for her, and also a good fight to learn from as well with a better striker. So, yeah, I think we should see her growing in leaps and bounds in her striking as well, being a younger fighter.
I agree. I think she's got a lot of potential. I need her to show up a little bit, but I think she's the play here. I don't. Again, anybody listening that I'm playing a dog, so don't tell me if you're unsure. I think she's the play here. I think that puts us up for John Castaneda and Daniel Marcos. Usman, you got a little tape on that? And
I got
pre-comment, we all know that Castaneda grapples and Marcos doesn't. So fuck them grappling stats. Get at it.
Yeah, John Castaneda. I believe this is the Sexy Maxi, probably up there for one of the best nicknames in the game. 21-6 for Castaneda, 15-0 with one no contest, Daniel Marcos. And that was the nut kick, I believe, from last fight with the Rishi Lang. Height, we've got 5'6" for Sexy Maxi, 5'7" for Marcos, 71-inch reach to the 69-inch of Marcos, 71 for Castaneda. And then off to the strikes, 4.79 Castaneda, 5.75 Daniel Marcos. Absorbed, we're looking at 499. Never like when we see a fighter that absorbs more than he lands, and that's Castaneda. And four flat for Daniel Marcos.
I'll take this fight then. Can you hear me, Usman?
Yeah, get after it.
Got
Okay,
you.
okay, okay. Yeah, man. I think Castaneda's the side. I think he's just the proven resume. We know he's tough. We know he's durable for the most part, and we know he's gonna be able to push the pace, man. Like I don't know. I think he's gonna be able to just kind of have his way with I can't think of his name. I keep wanting to call him Jose Johnson for some reason, but yeah, I
Daniel
think
Marcos.
yeah, Marcos. I think Castaneda's the side. I think he is gonna use the wrestling, and I think we see him just dominate to a decision. Give me all the Castaneda.
I ain't mad at you. You know what? I don't know who is the favorite and who the dog here is. I'm gonna look real quick. I assume Castaneda is the dog. No.
I think it was almost a pick 'em. So with that being said,
Oh,
like
it
if
is. Marcos
the
is
O,
minus 32 books. Marcos minus 119. Castaneda minus 105.
so with that being said, obviously the over is a must play in this fight. I think it goes to decision either side, regardless of winner. But yeah, I will definitely have my side. Have my money on Sexy Mexi.
I hope he hits the play. I'm not playing this one. It's not because it's a pick 'em. I just didn't even look at it. I had no interest in it. Usman.
Yeah, no, the first thing I'd say about both of these guys is they're tough. They're going to keep on going. I think the over is a pretty easy play. We didn't talk about those grappling stats, but the fact that Daniel Marcos is sitting at an 89% kind of helps me lean his way. I wouldn't be mad at either pick with the lines this close, but I'm going with Marcos and the over, and probably Marcos by decision. Oh, also on the last fight, you know I can't stop talking about my the divisional goat Luma Lukbune took Denise Gomes to decision, so hit the over on that last one too.
You and fucking Luma, bro. What? I don't know what you got for her for Luma, but power to you and her, man. That's all I can say.
She's the
Uh,
best.
Up next is minus 625. Brad Katana, 31 books. Jesse Butler, plus 418. Listen,
Hey Joe, can I cut in real quick? Usman, I know
yeah.
you're saying he has 89% takedown defense, but did you look at who they're against? Brandon Lewis, who is a striker. Simon Oliveira. Uh, that's probably where most of his takedown defense comes from. And then Davy Grant. Those are strikers. Like he hasn't fought guys that are just shooting takedowns on him, and that's not their game plan. So I'm not saying that the defense isn't going to hold up. I'm just saying that isn't the best competition for it to be at 89% against. But I mean, really can't
Who you
scoff at
talking
an
about?
89%. Oh shit, what's his name? I keep
Brad
wanting to call him.
Katana?
No, I'm talking about Daniel
Daniel
Marcos.
Marcos? Gotcha. Okay, my bad. All right. I ain't mad at that. We good to move on?
Yeah, my bad.
No worries. Brad Katana minus 625. That's reporting 31 books. Jesse Butler plus 418. I'm going to do it this way. Trace, how do you feel about the over? Are you taking it or not?
Oh yeah, it's a Katona fight. The over is given.
It's free, I know.
Decision free as long as somebody can't knock him out, which he's never been finished. So just ride that to
If,
decision, boys.
if is anybody taking Jesse Butler? Show of hands. If you're taking Jesse Butler, yeah, all right, we're not talking about Jazza bets. Tell me
No,
why,
no, no.
bro.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Well, why is Katona minus 600? I don't understand that at all.
Because he's gonna take him to decision, bro, and he's gonna beat him. He's gonna outclass him, and it's gonna be boring, and it's gonna be fucking
Jim
boring.
Miller knocked him out pretty quickly in their fight. Is why.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
that's my only question. I'm not digging into Jesse Butler's fucking regional tape, but your chin should hold up at a higher weight class. He's coming down two weight classes. This might be his original weight class. I don't know. I'm not looking at no damn Jesse Butler. Um, Brad Katona throws a lot, man. I'd just be afraid to hit the over, and then Jesse Butler just comes out and gets collapsed by like a 4 or 5 punch combo.
Yeah, but Katona's pillow fisted though, so I don't think you have to really worry about that.
I mean,
Jim
play
Miller,
the
for
over
whatever
1.5
reason,
to feel better. Didn't mean to cut you off, Trace, but just play the over 1.5. Feel better. Katona ain't knocking nobody out in 60 seconds, bro. That's not a real life thing. So
Usman, if you're worried about a Katona KO for ruining your money, son, we shouldn't bet no more.
I mean, okay. I was gonna say it's still set at 2.5 with -240 and -210 on the goes the distance and the over.
Hey,
I
that's
get
value.
it. I get it, but let's just move on to the next one before I start losing hair.
yeah, that sounds like a good plan there. That's that. That's that. What's next? Is it Charles? No, it's Andrea Lee and Montana Della Rosa. Um,
And
Jesus Christ.
if we're not coming over some of the stuff that you guys wanted it to really like get the information on, better times will be here in the next 10 minutes or so, and he may want to go back and cover some of the fights a little bit more better detail for y'all. So he might answer some of the questions you have if you have any questions. But if not, we are open mic, man. Throw a hand up, request a mic, we'll get you on here. We
Yeah,
don't we love to hear people's opinions, man. We're all for it.
and we do dig into these fights, and we have more to give than we do sometimes. We just know that if we give too much, you can turn a Jesse Butler fight into a 25-minute conversation. So
Lord
there's
knows
no
we're
need.
famous for it.
Yeah, so we just try to keep it at a minimal, have the information we need, and give the plays straight. Andrea Lee versus Montana Della Rosa is next. Montana is plus 121 over 30 books. Andrea sitting at minus 149. I don't have the over unders on our site open, and I'm on our site, but I'll bet you this one is set at 2.5. I'm not sweating that too much. Usman, you got any tail of the tape on this one?
Damn near identical stats when it comes to these two girls. 13-9 for Andrea Lee, 12-9-1 for Montana De La Rosa. When it goes down to height, 5'6" Lee, 5'7" De La Rosa. Reach, 69 inches for Lee, 68 for Rosa. Coming down, this is where we're starting to get some different looks. 4.69 landed for Andrea Lee, 2.70 for De La Rosa. 3.76 absorbed to 3.21 for De La Rosa. And then we know Del Rosa is going to grapple, but interesting here that Andrea Lee has the takedown average with 1.85 and 1.71 for Del Rosa. We'll scroll down because you know I'm going to give a ridiculous take on this one. Submission average 0.6 for Lee, 0.8 for Montana Del Rosa. And I'll take it first. Yeah, we're going to hit the over for sure. Both of these girls are going to go to the decision. But here's my ridiculous take. Every single time Andrea Lee comes out to fight, I'm going to touch that submission line. Am I going to get it? No. Probably one of my most losing bets. But Montana De La Rosa is going to find a way to start grappling with this girl. And Andrea Lee always finds the back. Does she do anything with it? Absolutely not. But maybe we get that sub. Here we go.
Yeah,
So
I think. Oh, go ahead, Trace. You had your hand up. My bad, bud. Go ahead.
oh, you're good, man. So I think it's really a toss up, man. This is really going to come down to who wants it more in the moment in that fight. I think they match up pretty well, honestly. Montana doesn't have the best striking, and Lee should definitely be the better striker, but Montana should hold the edge on the ground, a slight edge on the ground. Yeah, I think this fight's going to be a whole lot of back and forth, a lot of fighting for position, a lot of flipping around and reversals. Yeah, I think this fight's gonna be a little bit more hectic than we think. I honestly probably look to play the split on this one. I think it probably goes to decisions, pretty much a lock. The over obviously being a lock, but I think this fight's messy. I think first off, both these girls are on a 4-fight losing streak, so it could very well be fighting for the job. Which is why I was thinking I think whoever wants it more is who's gonna walk away with this fight. So over goes a decision, and I'll probably play a little on the split side, uh, especially with how weird these judges have been here lately, man. Like, why not?
I'm not mad at any of that. My problem with taking fight goes to the distance is I think Andrea Lee could put Montana away in the late rounds. I think if Andrea Lee is able to scoop the legs. I think she can control Montana in that position. I think she can make it look grueling. I don't think she gets to finish ground and pound wise, but I think she can be on top of her. I think she'll have the opportunity to posture up. I think she'll be able to beat her up for a little bit. If she could do that for half of round one or all of round two or anything similar to that, I just think she may be able to get Montana tired enough to actually finish her in the late rounds. So definitely throw the over 1.5 in the lay. I like Lee. I'm gonna put a over 1.5 dash Lee, meaning if I do play Gomes, I'm gonna play Lee with it. But yeah, that's my take. That's what I got. Anybody else on this fight at all? Oh, well, that's okay too. Charles Radtke versus Carlos Prates is next. Usman, you got any? You got tail of the tape on that?
Of course, Charles Radtke. Both these guys only got two fights in the UFC, so the stats are going to be a little skewed. Radtke coming in at 9-3, with Prates coming in 18-6, 5'9" in height for Radtke, 6'1" for Prates. Reach is going to be 72 for Radtke, 78 for Carlos. Strikes landed per minute 3.29 for Radtke, 4.38 for Carlos. Absorb per minute 3.03 for Radtke, 5.95 for Carlos Prates. 0.00 for Prates on everything having to do with grappling. 0.76 takedowns for Radtke. Don't got a take on this fight. Go ahead, guys.
Trace, you on this fight?
Yeah, I think Carlos Prates is the side, man. I think he's the rightful favorite. He's a pretty sizable favorite at that. I think it's probably a round one, round two KO. Um, yeah, I'm pretty confident that he finds the finish here. Uh, yeah, most of his finishes have come early in the fight. Um, his latest being a round two KO. Yeah, I think he's a pretty safe bet this week. I have him in a 2 leg parlay for this card. Yeah, Prates by KO. I'll probably play the KO round two, round three props on FanDuel for a better line, because I do think it probably comes more likely in the second round than the first, but I'll probably touch both lines as well.
Very nice. Carlos is minus 238 over 28 books. Radke plus 185. They've got the over set at the over 1.5. Over 1.5 is minus money at minus 145 plus 115 for the under. That is at Sportsbook. They've got all their over unders posted, so that's who we're using tonight. I'm definitely getting it off capmma.com. Shameless plug. We've got 40 books reporting over here. We've got over unders, just turn the rounds on. We got parlay calculators. Site's killing it. I've been beta testing the the news prompts to give you all of the news stories for about a week here. I think I'm gonna let it go shortly. Usman, what do you got?
So when the ghost to split is lined at plus 400 or lower, that is hitting the over at 66.66% for 2024. Luckily, we have an over 1.5. So that's telling me that I'm going to be taking that over 1.5. Just on a little side hedge from what y'all guys are telling me, I think I take the over 1.5, and then I also take Carlos Prates by KO round one plus 300, round two plus 500. And hey, if we hit the under with a KO round two, we buy a Chuck E. Cheese.
All right, I ain't mad at it. Kids won't be mad at it either. I don't see any hands up on this one. This isn't a fight I expected to see any of that. Thiago Moises, Ludwig Klein. Ludwig coming in at minus 130. Thiago coming in at plus 105. 29 books reporting that. I think the over is very live here. What's it set at? Minus 135 plus 105 for the under. That's the over under 2.5. This is one of those fights for me. I wouldn't sweat the over 2.5 too much, but if you're playing parlays, throw the over 1.5 on there. Take the alternate. You're probably getting shittier odds, -2 something on it. But I would assume it's a really really nice parlay piece. Yeah, just my assumption. Sorry to skip tail of the tape on this one, Usman, but they ain't all worth it, and we got to pick and choose. Trace, you got anything on this fight?
I'm gonna be honest. I stepped away. What fight are we on?
Oh, you dirty son bitch. He thought Usman was going to be over here, 5'2", 64 inches of reach. Thiago Moises, Ludwig Klein.
I'm seeing a lot of love for Thiago Moises, which surprises me. Like I get it, Ludovic Klein's not the most well-rounded fighter, but it seems to be most of the love's coming from him, mostly being a physical specimen, and them thinking that he's falling in love with bodybuilding rather than fighting, which could be a problem if it is true. But I don't know, man. The dude's yoked. I feel like he's probably just juicing like everybody else is, and will probably come in fight day juice like everybody else is, and probably comes out there and ends up catching Thiago Moises at some point. But yeah, I didn't look at this fight too much for a betting standpoint. If I was to take a side, if you're going to give me Ludovic Klein against Thiago Moises at some point, I'd probably take a shot on him. But yeah, maybe Ozzy has a better take for this fight.
Ozzy, welcome back to the mic. Get after it, bud. Oh, shit. Better times. Welcome in, bud. Ozzy, get after it.
Yeah. This is a bit of a tricky fight, like you were saying, but I think it goes the distance at a big clip, and I can definitely see Moises maybe taking it back, standing against the cage, something like that, and really you're going to be stuck in a couple of these rounds, thinking who the hell won that round, and that's where you want the split. I'll be looking at split for this fight. If I get really good odds on either guy, if we're looking at like 13-1 or 14-1 on one of these guys by split, I mean that's a must play. I think scorecards will probably be all over the place just because I think it's going to be, Klein's probably going to edge him on the feet. He'll probably, be winning the minutes on the feet, but it's not going to be so wide that if all of a sudden there's some grappling exchanges, Moises can't steal the round. So yeah, I'm looking for split on this fight, and I'm hoping I get a good line. I'm hoping it's a bit sneaky, but it's if the over is, did you say it's minus money for the over two and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably not going to be a great split line, but hopefully I get 5-1 or something like that would be good.
Yeah, I mean, you probably get plus 450 at worst, I'd imagine. Better times. Welcome to the mic, brother. Do you have anything on the Ludovic Klein Thiago Moises fight?
Yeah, the side is Moises, man. Come on. Striking wise, the tricky thing about Klein's striking is that he flows very well, but it's the setup of the high kick. That left high kick he has is really fast, and it's set up very well. But as far as striking goes, everything else is pretty even. Moises is not a bad striker. He's just as good as Ludovic Klein. The only thing that separates them Klein is just a little bit faster, but Moises has the timing and power on his side. But the grappling is what sets them apart. Moises is such a good grappler. Ludovic Klein is to an extent. His style is more controlling. Moises is more of a finishing style. And I think Moises is going to dominate to a decision or a late submission. That's my take.
I see we got Jason Nickel down there, Bo Nickel's father. That's always cool. Good seeing you here, brother. I know that's some of your people, Aussie man. Always cool to have him in here, though. Better. I know you weren't here for a lot of things because you have work. Was there any of the fights from earlier in the card that you had strong takes on that you wanted to give out?
I'm honestly not even, I don't even have the card in front of me, so I don't know which I went over.
Okay, we'll just go moving forward, and then if we'll kind of glance back at it a little bit later in the card.
Okay.
Joe, did you have anything else on this fight you wanted to touch?
Nope. Usman, what you got next?
First and foremost, I'll say everybody bet Thiago Moises because I really, really like me some Ludovic Klein. One of those fighters that I just really root for, and I'll probably be betting him. So when I bet my favorites, always fade me. That's the rule, unless it's the goat Luma Lukbume. On to the
Bro,
next
you gotta
one.
learn to bet people you like, motherfucker. What's next?
Miguel Baeza versus Punahele Soriano. Baeza coming in at 10-3. Punahele coming in at 9-4. 6'2" for Baeza, 5'11" for Soriano, 74-inch reach for Baeza, 72 for Punahele, 4.88 strikes landed per minute for Baeza. Got it right that time. 3.96 for Punahele, absorbed 5.10 for Miguel, 4.55 for Punahele, and then takedown average per 15 minutes 0.44 and 0.79 for Punahele.
I'd like to kick this one off and say that I think this is a good under. If you're afraid of the unders, you could go under 2.5. A lot of people don't like to play them or see what you can get for fight goes the distance. No, but I think this is a really good spot to take an under. I don't know the odds on that. I'm gonna switch over and look real quick here, see if I can get them before I get off of the damn mic.
You got
Uh,
2.5 at over 2.5 at plus 190, under 2.5 at minus 240.
damn. Under 1.5 is reporting at Superbook at minus 240. That's probably coming through wrong. That's probably coming through wrong. That's probably mine. That's probably under 2.5. I can't see him putting the under 1.5 at that, but maybe. Baeza is minus 192 and Soriano is plus 152 over 32 books, just to throw that out there. I just think this is a really good underplay. I'm not taking a side. I'm not going to bag any fighters. I don't think the level that we see in other fighters in the UFC is here for this fight. So I'm not confident to take a side, but you know me, I'm a overs unders. Fight goes the distance. Fight doesn't go the distance, guys. That's what I do most of the time. Ozzy, get after it.
Sorry,
I
sorry, I
actually
was
thought
muted there for a sec. Yeah, I like this Baez's goal. Why was he off for 2 years? I don't know what it was. I'm gonna have to look into that. But Soriano, he's going to come in. He's going to throw hooks. He's going to throw bombs. Like you said, maybe he catches him. I can't forget who he fought last, this Baez's guy, but he got his nose crushed from that uppercut from the clinch, and he was never the same after that. It was just a matter of time till he got KO'd. But 2 years
yeah,
off,
oh,
man, that's a long time. But I'd kind of lean towards him fighting smart and getting a sub. He hasn't got a paycheck in a while, so I will be looking at the sub line. Soriano's definitely vulnerable there. I wouldn't mess with Soriano on the feet if I didn't have to. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, does
All
anyone know
signs,
why he was off for 2 years?
I don't, but all signs still point to that under. He either leveled up or leveled down. I'm not being funny, but I am. Better times. You got anything on this fight before I throw it over to Zah?
Yeah, I can't hate on the under, but I think Baez is going to be a little bit cautious this time because he's been caught with some power punchers, Fialho and Chaos Williams. But from what I can see, even though he's been caught, he looks better every time. He really does. His striking is just phenomenal. He attacks all levels of the body and grappling. I think he got Soriano covered everywhere. He's just got to be cautious of that punching power. But Soriano's footwork is very limited. So that's what I think is going to get him pretty much dominated from Baeza. But he can always get caught. Soriano's got the knockout power.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it, but I'm still just no side, no side. Zah bets.
I think we have a fight where we see two guys who are both coming off losses, and are both scared to engage to lose because of contract, especially in Puna's situation. Uh,
So it's the first one to like
he's
news gets the knockout.
Well, no, I think it's more or less that they fight to not lose rather than to win, and it ends up in a decision. I'll probably take the over on this fight, especially at plus 90, plus 190. Excuse me.
Man, you're making me feel bad. I'm still taking my unders. I bet close this out.
Yeah, I agree with a lot what everyone had to say. I like Baeza in this. I think he took like the time off because he was on like a real bad losing streak. But before he was on that, he was a good striker. He's gonna have the reach in this fight, and I think he bounces back.
Very nice. Um, Next should be Julian Marquez minus 137. Zach Reese plus 111 over 29 books. If you didn't like the under on the last fight, you gotta like the under on this fight, man. For fuck's sake, Usman, you got any tail of the tape on this one?
I do. I was just gonna ask though. Anybody worried about this being Punahele's first fight at welterweight? Never fought at this weight before. Always middleweight and up.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. I just went skill for skill.
Ooh, let's
Yeah.
see that weight cut. Them scales might have you backtracking them bets and pulling them slips, but
I mean, not if you got the under, right? But we'll just get
all
into the next one,
point
huh?
to the under. All signs point to the under. What you got on the next one, bub?
The Cuban Missile Crisis, the big bag fumbler, Julian Marquez versus Zach Reese. 9-4 for Marquez, 6-1 for Reese. 6-2 for Marquez, 6-4 for Reese. Going down to the reach, it's 72 Marquez, 77 Reese. Landed per minute 4.86 to 3.93 and absorbed 4.99. Once again, hate seeing a fighter that takes more than he lands, and that's for Marquez. But if you hated that, Zach Reese has got 6.56 strikes absorbed per minute. And then we really don't need to look at the grappling stats because it's 0.000.000.
That's where it's at. No hands up, so I know the guys we got on deck. Better times, get after it. But what you got on this fight?
I'm on Zachary Reese, and simply put, man, the man is a good striker. Everything is accurate, and it hurts his opponents. They just cannot. They can't take it. The Cody Brundage fight. I would say people put that out their minds because Cody Brundage is a good first round fighter, and he trapped Zachary Reese. Zachary Reese wasn't coming out of that slam, I love watching that slam. By the way, that was a good setup. Zachary Reese was set up with a good. He got trapped. He wasn't going anywhere. He was getting knocked out regardless when he got picked up. So take that out your minds. Look at his past fights. Look how good he was. Especially the Contender Series fight. I bet against him on that fight, and that was a high level fighter. He just, dude, I don't know. I got a lot of praise for this guy. Very good on the feet. Very good submission skills. Julian Marquez is gonna get touched up in this fight. I know the cardio is a big question, but I don't think Julian's gonna last past the first round. I think it's Zachary Reese all day.
Man, I was gonna come back around and say I think I'm gonna play the round one, no side, just fight ends round one, bro. Uh, Made me feel real nice that you fucking threw that one out there at the end. Ozzy,
That's
get
a big
after it, bud.
dude.
Bro, I'm telling you, this is an under fight. If you don't like the last one, this is the one right here. Ozzy.
I'm 110% behind you. I think Zachary Reese round one is, I mean, a massive part of the win equity in this fight. Uh, when you look at
All six of his
uh,
wins are round one.
yeah, and you look at the other bloke, what's his name? Fucking sorry, I'm driving at the moment.
Marquez.
Marquez.
Marquez. I think all of his ITDs, they're all sub, right, in the UFC. I don't think he's even had a knockout. Um, I don't mind anybody if they want to take some Marquez round three sub. I mean, he's done it before, but can he do it
Uh,
now? I don't know, man. I mean,
he's
he
got
fights
four
once a
first
year.
round. Hey, he's got four first round, six knockouts, three submissions.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, he gets it done too. But I don't know, man. I don't think this is going to the judges. If it does,
So
round three is going to look terrible. It's going to look very sloppy, and yeah, I think either guy. If you're going to pick a side, pick round one or two, or like you said, just the under or ends in round one. What was that?
I
Did
don't
you
have
get
that.
a?
Our site
Oh,
doesn't
okay,
have
that's a
those
tip,
props.
tip, not a pro. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'll be looking at that too. I think that's a great parlay piece. The under on this fight, more so than everyone was on the Morono price under last week. I mean, I think this one is way more value if it's a similar line. So yeah, I'm going to take that for sure.
So I will add this. I feel pretty nice about the first round because I think if Zach Reese makes the mistake, uh, Marquez will put him out for it. If you make the mistake and you don't get your way, you're gonna go to sleep for it, in my opinion. Um, yeah, that's my real take on that one. Zabet, you had your hand up, bro. Did you want to get something out there before I have Trace close this out?
Yeah, you got. I'm on the same side as Better Times and Aussie. I'm gonna take a dog shot with Reese here. He's taller, and he, like you said, a lot of his fights end in the first round. I think he knocks him out in the first or second.
Nice, nice. I like the first. I'm not mad at anybody covering it on the second. And I know my dude Trace right here. He's gonna say he's gonna take the first and the second because he's a smart better. Trace, close this one out.
So honestly, I thought going into this I'd be all over Julian Marquez, and I kind of still am. I just didn't realize the low level of competition that he's fought in the UFC. Like most of them aren't even in the UFC anymore that he's beaten. And then the Marc Andre Barrialt KO doesn't look good uh, as far as like being durable. Uh, but yeah, man, we have a guy largely untested in what is his name? In Zachary Reese, who has been a 1 round fighter, and like I just remember like every fight that I've watched him in, just kind of like, man, he is there to be hit. So yeah, I'll probably take a shot on Marquez to get the submission here. I might just take him inside the distance. Honestly, I think this fight more likely does get finished inside the distance, like everybody's touched on. Probably round one or two because that is the win condition of Reese, and I think Marquez is going to oblige him. I think he'll stand and bang with him, and then whoever drops. But yeah, I think Marquez has probably the better side for me as well. So give me Marquez.
Nice. Better times, tail back through, and then Zabets will close it.
Real quick, just a real quick note about him being there to be hit. He can take a shot. In his fights, he's shown that he can take clean shots. But one thing that I did notice on one of his fights, Alex Morono was commentating during the fight because he trains at the gym sometimes, or mainly, I don't know. But he says whenever he spars, he doesn't have to hold back when he's sparring. So you can really just hit him, and he could take a shot well. So just a little note.
Y'all guys know I love my tough fighters, but that isn't the way I bet them. Like if you're known for being tough, it's because you get hit, and in this sport, you don't want to be the guy that's known for getting hit and getting love fair that way. Like it's cool being tough, but I want the guy that doesn't get hit and hits people. Uh, Unfortunately, neither one of these guys are really that guy. But yeah, give me the Cuban Missile Crisis.
I ain't mad at it. Zabets, take this one home.
I just have to share some breaking news. Dana White just announced Macy Barber versus Rose Namajunas, July 13th in Denver, Colorado, main event.
I was hoping you were saying the replacement for UFC 303. I was about to get real lit.
Nope, just some Rose and Macy Barber.
So is that officially off, or is there just no words right now?
Oh, the McGregor.
Officially unofficial.
Yeah, officially unofficial for sure. Sorry, I had to walk across the room and grab something to drink, boys. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Bruno Fiera versus Dustin Stolfest. Uh, Listen, I don't. Okay, so Dustin Stolfest is a dog. I'm not. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not. I'm not trying to talk big shit about him. But this is a fight for Bruno Fiera to win. Um, he's minus 278. Dustin Stolfest plus 211 over 30 books. We don't need to get too deep in the tail of the tape here. This is a fight I'm going to go ahead and make the executive call. And I'm going to let Better and Trace give their takes. And then unless anybody is actually on Dustin Stolfest, we'll move on after that. So Better, why don't you open it up, and Trace, why don't you close it out, and we'll move right past this one. Anybody can throw their hand up, but I'm trying to avoid the conversation on this one. This is a layup. The UFC's.
Yeah,
If I know better, we're probably gonna be able to open it and close it with his, so we're probably good. Go ahead, better.
it's easy, bro. Bruno Ferreira, round one. Dude has knockout power, and the big key is the movement. Bruno Ferreira has really good movement. Stoltzfus, even though his offense is good, he lacks movement. His head is just there on the center line. He's gonna get knocked out in round one.
That is the take. Trace, you got anything that is not that take?
I mean, this guy got beat up on the feet by oh man, what is the guy's name? The Brazilian world champion at one. He won multiple times, but I can't think of the guy's name. Anyways, he got beat up by a Brazilian world champion on the feet. That should tell you
Rodolfo
all you need to
Vieira.
know. Yeah, Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo pieced him up on the feet. Yeah, he's probably getting knocked out pretty quickly here. I probably wouldn't be so bold as just do the one. I'd probably do round 1 and 2 on FanDuel. Just I like to cover just in case weird shit happens. Could Stoltzfus go in there and pull off some kind of crazy ass submission? Sure, that's his win condition. I just think more often than not we see Fahea put this man to sleep. So yeah, give me the KO prop. Fahea money line. Fahea under. Yeah, I feel like it's a pretty safe bet.
Usman, close this one out and tell us what's next.
Two very wise poets of our time said, I'm an island boy because fuck y'all guys. I'm on Dustin Stolfitz. He's going to drain this guy out. He's going to get tired, and we're going to get a Dustin Stolfitz round 2 submission, round 3 submission. Put
Oh,
it
like he did,
down. Dustin Stolfitz is going to dog this boy out.
like he did.
So for
Oh,
you that didn't know, Dustin Stoltzfus is from about 45 minutes from where I currently live. He's a Mennonite boy. He's not an island boy. He's a get out there and pitch some hay with a fork boy.
No, I'm saying I'm an island boy because I'm going to be like the only person in the world cashing this Dustin Stolfitz money line and over 1.5 bet. On to the next one, boys.
yes, sir.
We've got. Oh, this is the one. This is our real main event, right? Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Tercios. Do we really got to go through the stats? 8-1 to 13-3. Um, mm. Yeah, Rosas
No,
versus Tercios. Well, what y'all got? That's it. We're just gonna do
bro.
that.
So when this fight was originally announced, it was set for Denver or no, New Mexico or Mexico. So it was set at high elevation. Um, as we all know, Tercios is a cardio machine. Wish he could weaponize it a little bit better. He's a little crazy and a little wild with his strikes when he does stuff. No real technique when he gets to fight. He just kind of throws out there whatever he feels. But yeah, whenever it was at elevation, I liked him to out cardio Rosas. But now that it's going to be on equal footing here or where is this in Louisville, uh, significantly lower elevation. Yeah, this should be a Rosas decision. I doubt he finishes him. Uh, both guys are the other guy's traditionally tough and has been durable for most of his career. Yeah, I think this is just a whole bunch of wrestling, a whole bunch of transitioning and battling for position, and then Rosas probably gets the better of it early with Tercios coming in at the end. Maybe a split decision here, but I like the over and I like Rosas by decision.
I'm taking Tercio by decision. Um, I'm actually taking the over, and then I think Tercios is going to wear his ass out. I think that Rosas probably looks nice in round 1. I think by the end of round 2, he does not look so nice. I think that that's the swing round, and I think round 3 is Ricky Tercio all day. And I think it's going to be a motherfucking ass whooping. People with slips on it worrying, was that a 10-8? Was that a 10-8? I think by round 3, he beats the shit out of Rosa. Maybe I'm tripping. That's just my take. I am taking the over though. I don't think he finishes him. Um, I'm taking at least the over 1-5, at least the over 1-5. And I'm gonna have to figure out a way to play Ricky Tercio somewhere because I think,
I would love to see a Ricky Tercios Hadouken in the UFC. That would be awesome.
bro, I'm telling you, just he's got a good rhythm to him when he gets going, and I think it can be a problem for Rosas. He's very awkward with his timing, and I don't think Rosas has got the is experienced enough to do anything about that. He's probably get the grapple in the early round, but after that, I just don't know, man. Better times. You got anything on this one, bro?
Yeah, bet the over 2.5, easy money. But yeah, it's hard to pick a side, but I lean towards not Ricky, fucking Raul, because it's just the grappling and it's the style of grappling. Like I don't know why he chose to like approach the grappling the way he did against what was that name, Christian Rodriguez. It was just that was just bad. And then he rushed himself and everything. Look, if he attacks the legs like he does in his early fights, he'll get Ricky down. I don't know what it is about getting to the hips or below, but Ricky just he doesn't defend him, and but he is busy. I will give him that. He's busy on the bottom, so I think Raul has a good 2 rounds in him, if not 3 rounds. He's gone three hard rounds before. I think everyone just has that Christian Rodriguez fight stuck in their head, and they don't look at the fight he had on Contender Series. That man, the guy he fought was a real solid fighter. So I think Raul Rosas has the advantage here in the grappling. I don't think he has bad striking either, especially when going up against Ricky Tercios. Tercios is not the best striker. He doesn't feint. He doesn't really set up anything. He just goes for it. And I think Raul can work with that. So Raul Rosas via decision, but the best bet over 2.5. Easy money.
Yeah, I like that over a lot. Over 1.5 is like free hit every parlay. You know what I mean? Like your fucking 8 legs, just throw it on there for a ninth leg. I mean, I like the over 2-5 just as easy, but whenever I'm that confident in the 2-5, I'll throw the over 1-5 fucking everywhere. Like, I don't give a shit if it gets me an extra fucking 20 points. I'm gonna take it.
So we're not recommending you make 9 leg parlays, but if you already make them,
Yeah, that's
throw
what
that
I'm
10th one on there,
saying.
Klein.
If you're a guy who already builds them, or if you already make 5 leg parlays and you want a little juice, like, so I like to do 3-4 leg parlays, right? But then I'm like, man, I want to juice it. You might take 2 over 1-5s or even 3 of them for the juice if you feel like they're over 2-5 fights. I don't know, man. Whatever. We're talking too much bet technique shit. Usman, what you got next, bro? Wait, did Zah have his hand up?
Nope.
Usman, close this one out on what you got next.
Kevin Navidad has landed 7 takedowns in the UFC. All 7 on Ricky Tercios. Tercios been held down for 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Give me the young kid Raul Rosas by decision, and let's move on to the next one. Dominic Reyes versus Dustin Jacoby. The Devastator versus the Hanyak. Dominic Reyes at 12-4. Dustin Jacoby 19-8-1. We got 6'4" to 6'3" and 77 inches of reach to 76 inches of reach. 4.75 strikes landed per minute for Reyes, 5.53 for Jacoby, 3.77 absorbed for Reyes, and 4.07 for Jacoby. Let's just say identical with takedown average at 0.36 and 0.36. Both coming off of a loss. Reyes to Span, Jacoby to Menafield. And that's that.
Yeah, so this -1 or -233 on Jacoby, plus 183 on Reyes. I favor the knockout in this fight. My favorite fight goes no. Um, I favor just Dustin Jacoby, but I actually will not bet him. I will just bet fight goes to decision, and I will probably find something for the KO. Trace, what you got on this fight? Open this one up, bud. I guess I shouldn't have said open it up. That wasn't the correct term. Get into it. You're muted. Do you know that?
Yeah, man. I don't know how you have much faith on either side of this fight. Really, like most of yours going off of the downfall of Reyes. Like he just hasn't been able to take a punch seemingly. But I don't know. Justin Kobe isn't like a one punch guy. He's a kind of more or less in the UFC is just pointed guy. So I'd probably play the over in this fight and probably try not to invest too much money in a fight that could be, honestly, who knows, man. Like what is left of Dominic Reyes? Like what is he went from arguably losing a split decision to the greatest fighter of all time that he could have won to not being able to win a fight. So yeah, I believe a lot of these fighters are their success is tied to and their pride and their belief in themselves. And I don't think he believes in himself anymore. So I don't know how you bet him. So I figure he probably Jacoby, but if like I said, I'd probably just take the over and stay off this fight from a betting standpoint.
That's the touch of John Jones, bro. Once that man beats you, your career is fucked up. That's just how it works. That motherfucker, he is the grim reaper of MMA. All right. I don't.
Well, we got better times. Better. You
Oh,
gotta
my
take him this
bad.
fight, brother.
My bad. I'm not excited about this one. I was like, blow over this bitch. Better times. Get after it.
Look, this is a toss up to me. They both have horrible striking defense. Jacoby has had it lately. He used to be really good at range management, but lately it's just been really horrible. So on my nose, I just said bet the under. This fight is not going the distance.
All right. I want to give everybody a little bit of insight. Um, so there do come probabilities, right? Dominic Reyes is a UFC caliber fighter who we have seen fight for a belt. It is probable that he will win a fifth fight. It is rare that he would actually lose the fifth fight in a row. That is a probability. I ran this fight through Darce, but I fucked up and I didn't tell Darce to do it 3 rounds. So Darce ran the fight for 5 rounds. This doesn't count for a Darce pick because Darce would have ran it different for a 3 round. And I didn't go back and redo it. I just killed the video. We've got a lot of production going on, and I can't backtrack. But in the probability breakdowns, the probability in a 5 round were rounds 1, 2, or 3 KO. Dominic Reyes 55% win probability. And as a matter of fact, because I'm here, I will just open it up. If you guys give me a second, let me see. I know I have the actual. Let's see, Louisville. I got to get to them, but I can give you all of the probabilities on that one for.
We're not big enough yet, but this is where we would install a commercial whenever we get there, guys.
Well, if Trace was on his shit, he'd be doing a goddamn commercial right now. But he's always slacking, man, and then making me look bad. I don't know why he does that. It did favor Dominic Reyes. I listen. I can remember it was 45% KO probability for Dominic Reyes, 35% KO probability for just Dustin Jacoby. I want to say they don't quote me on this one. I want to say they both had 10% chance of submission on the probability. But I will say, even though it favored Dominic Reyes by KO and it favored Dominic Reyes to win, it may have changed that in a 3 round fight as far as the final outcome. But when it ran it for 5 rounds, it favored Dominic and it favored the round 1, 2, 3 finish on its own for either way. So take that for what it's worth. Darce is at 6-0 right now. We're not being picky. We could call it at like 7-1 with fight probably man with 6-1 on the actual method. This is if we went through testing. Like Darce is fucking killing it. Darce has ran a few fights out to a T. You can go read it. So for whatever that's worth, let's move on to the main event. Jared Cannonier, who is minus shit, plus 102 over 32 books. On average, you do see him at minus money on some books, but slight plus money on most books. Nazardim Imavov, minus 129. You can see him as deep. And that's the average over 128. That's the average over 32 books, but you can see him as deep as minus 141. So some people are definitely betting his ass. You want to give us some tail of the tape on this one? Some basic shit, Usman?
Yeah, I got you. We're basically gonna know it's going to be striker versus striker that mixes it up. 17-6 for Jared Cannonier, 13-4 with one no contest for Imavov, 5'11 Cannonier, 6'3 for Nasruddin, way bigger guy, but Cannonier's got the reach advantage by 277-75. Strikes landed per minute 4.68 to 4.53. Cannoneer with the lands more. 4.13 to 3.26. Nasruddin misses or dodges strikes a little bit more. Off to the grappling 0.44 takedown average per 15 minutes for Jared Cannonier and 0.87 for Nasruddin Imavov. Try to fly through him. What we
Very
got?
nice. Better times. Oh, it was man. Just to backtrack because I found it. 50% chance that fight ends in KO. 40% chance it goes the distance. 10% on submission on that last fight. Like it's KO or distance, man. Better times. Get after this main event.
All right, I'm actually going against Darce on this one. I'm on Jared Cannonier. Simply because this is a 5 round fight. Nasruddin Imavov, I've always seen him slow down after the second round. He did it against Buckley. I don't know how he did it against fucking Roman Dolidze. He had him finished in the first round. I think he should have been able to finish him in the second round, but he wasn't able to, and he got taken down in that fight too. Look, Jared Cannonier, especially against Marvin Vettori, he looked phenomenal. Strike timing, really good footwork and angles, and he started implementing grappling. If he does that, he's gonna beat Imavov. He could probably knock him out as the fight goes on because that power is not going anywhere. But I actually got to go. I just remember one fight I do want to go over. Not go over. I want y'all to hear my take. Puja Tomar versus Hadiani Amandi now.
Yep.
Dude, Puja Tomar is the girl to watch. I'm a fan of this girl. Y'all are gonna do. I'm telling you, that girl is a fucking beast. I watched one of her fights where she used so many leg kicks and she throws them hard. This girl's leg looked like she was just scraped across the pavement for a long time. The girl is good and her finishing instinct is like none other. I'm telling you, at plus 285, take a shot on her. But I gotta go. Y'all have a good
Better
one.
real quick. Over or under on that one?
On the Tomar
Yes,
fight,
sir.
probably over. They're both really good.
Very nice.
Hit
Better.
him with the
Thanks for
mic
getting in
drop.
here tonight, bro. Thanks for getting in here tonight, bro. We'll catch up with you soon.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too. I will open this one up with the Darce take, actually. So something new happened when this one ran through the probability calculator, and it said Cannoneer 50% chance, Nazardine 55% chance. I'm gonna read that as a 50-50 with it's never cut it like that before where when you add the big probabilities up it's over. So I'm gonna cut it as a 50-50 fight in the probability odds with a very, very slight lean in Nazardine's favor. It says the most likely finish by a fighter though is Jared 45% KO probability. If you're looking for the prop on how this fight ends though, probabilities say it is fucking tore up. Goes to decision 40%, KO 35%, submission 25%. If you're playing numbers, there's no good spot on this one. My personal take, I like Jared Cannonier, but I'm not betting anything on this fight. I'm not making an official pick on this fight. I actually like Jared, so I know better. Trace, what you got on this one, bud?
So I didn't, like I said in the chat earlier today, I didn't have a lot of love for this card. I think most of them go to decisions. If I'm being clear, if I'm being completely transparent, but yeah, I think the over is probably another good decision here. With things going on with USADA not being in uh, a prime role anymore, not having anything to do with the testing anymore, it's going to be interesting to see what fighters reemerge and show new versions of themselves. I know he's Muslim, so he probably won't take supplements, assuming. But then again, we know how the Dagestanis are, so I don't know. I'm taking the over. I'm not picking a side in this fight. If I was, I'd probably go with Imavov just because of age. But yeah, man, I'm probably gonna have me a nice little over parlay going. So I might tell you this week, Joe.
Very nice, very nice.
Imovov's not Muslim. He's French.
No, no, no. Vanilla Gorilla. The Jared Cannonier is Muslim.
Oh, come on, y'all had to think that one was funny.
Yeah,
Um,
that was classic right there.
what you're telling me, Joe? Not you. What Darce is telling me is take the plus 6,600 draw on this fight. It's already loaded in. I'm buying the Chuck E. Cheese, guys.
Bro, I'll be honest. If that hits based off that take, that's the hottest thing we've seen out of that fucking algorithm, calculator, fucking model, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's a model. It is
Yo,
a model.
speaking of crazy lines, you know how my heart skipped a beat whenever they were reading off the cards, and like I know y'all know I was over Sean Strickland last weekend, his decision prop and his late round finish props, but I did do the Paulo Costa hedge on DraftKings at 25 to 1 for him to win a split decision. So when they read that 49-46 or 49-46 Paulo Costa, I thought I had a dream for a second, boys. Like he didn't deserve it, but I thought I was about to cash that 25 to 1 real quick.
Zabet.
Yeah, I stood up. I stood up. I said, "No, they did not." I thought I was about to have a dream.
Zabet, what you got, bro?
Um, yeah, Paulo Costa tried telling you guys he can fade, man.
Yeah, we knew that shit. We knew that shit. All right, listen, real quick. Let's run it down, Trace. Let's couple seconds. Are we taking the over 2-5? Usman 2. We taking the over under 2-5 on the Tomer fight.
Everything points to take the over. So
All
let's
right, we
take the
taking the
over.
over under on the Lapilus Stamann fight.
That's an over.
I agree. We taking the over under on the Marcos Castaneda fight. That's an over.
That's an over.
Yeah, that's definitely an over. We taking the over under on the Gomes fight. We can skip them too. This is
Oh
two
man.
five. 2-5
Over,
on this.
over.
You know I always do a first four parlay. That's gonna be an over for me. That
All right.
already at plus 379.
Two finishers, two women finishers. Give me the over.
Yeah, for sure. We know we're taking the over on the Jesse Butler Brad Katona fight. We know we're taking the over on the Montana De La Rosa Andrea Lee fight. Uh, do we want to skip or take the over 1-5 on the Radtke fight? I'm gonna
Skip.
skip.
Skip. I would skip that.
Over 2-5 on the Klein fight, minus 135. That's a skip, bro. That's not good
Skip.
enough money. Over under 1-5 minus 135 on the Stofes fight. Not for this parlay. Zachary Reese under. That's a different parlay. Let's see. The Soriano fight under 1-5. That's a huge favorite. We're gonna skip that one. We're just looking for overs here. Reyes Jacoby. Did we come to a decision on that? It's plus money. The
Yeah,
over 2-5.
it sounded like it was. Most people thought it was gonna be a knockout, right?
Skip
Yeah,
it.
I do. All right, and then the Raul Rosas versus Tercio. We're gonna take the over. Everybody was on that one. And then, do we want the over 4.5 or not on a Mivov Cannonier?
Look, we leave that off because it's a main event and tricky shit, right? But if you really want to, you make the exact same parlay and throw the over on.
Listen here. Listen here. If we take the over on the Tercio fight, if we take the over on the De La Rosa, Butler, Gomes, Marcos, Lapilus, Santos fight, you're like, oh, that's crazy amounts of legs, 7 legs, bro. You're getting plus 1339 on that fucking parlay. That's on our site at Low Vig because they've got all the rounds posted. I'm sure there might be another book or two where you can get it all, but everything reports over on our site. We got 40 books reporting, and right now Low Vig's giving us all the over unders. So, yeah, if you were at Low Vig right now, you could get almost plus 1,400 to take them overs. That's a good ass lay to me, man. I'm gonna really play that lay when I log into my shit. I'm really taking that, or something very very close to it based on the picks that I wrote down. Cade, it
What
is
did you say those odds were?
plus 1339 at Low Vig right now.
I got plus 1328, and I'm locking in.
Yeah, that's fucking savage. Where are you at? What book are you at?
Bet online.
Yeah, that's nice right there. Um, Oh shit! I said, yeah. Oh, it is Low Vig. It is Low Vig. I don't know why I thought it was the other book. Cade, nice to see you in the room and on the mic, bud. Been a while. What you got?
What's up, bro? What's up? Hey, what's the over on the Cannonier fight?
Over 4.5 is minus 160.
Oh shit. I don't know. I feel like that should go over, but I also feel like somebody could get finished in that fight too. I don't know though. I don't. It feels like a tricky fight in my opinion when it comes to that over under stuff.
Oh yeah, it's that one we're gonna skip. That's not even in
Cause
our list. So.
yeah, cause I was gonna say, cause Cannonier's coming off that injury, so who even knows how he recovered from that or anything.
Man, oh man, what do I got going over here? I'm sorry, I'm looking at something on our website on the dev page. Something is wrong on the development page, but it's not front page. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that one's one that you have to play. I wrote it as a skip on my list. I'm not playing anything on it anywhere, so that's it.